This is my review of the Doors album LA Woman. It was released in 1971 and produced by the Doors and Bruce Botnick. So this would have been like the second or third Doors album I got. Originally I got a CD copy of it along with Morrison Hotel. This vinyl copy I got a few years later in 2009, I think in like the Zanesville Mall in a record store. I doubt that place is even there anymore. Honestly, I don't even know if it was a record store. I think it was just like a store of used stuff. So yeah, this album was one of my most listened to Doors albums for a long time. I don't know that it's ever been like my favorite Doors album, but I have always really liked it. I think recently it's kind of gone down a little bit for me, maybe because I've over-listened to it. But still a very great album. This was their last album released while Jim was alive. Their producer kind of left while they were making it, and so they ended up recording it with the engineer who had worked on their previous albums. The bass player they use on this one, Jerry Sheff, I'm just mentioning him because for some reason, to me, the bass has always seemed a little more prominent on this album. I don't know if it's the difference in production or what, but the bass on this album has always seemed a little more noticeable than on some of their other albums. And they used Mark Beno on rhythm guitar here to, I think, kind of free up Robbie to let him like be able to focus on his leads. So this is kind of a different sounding album for these guys. I feel like it's kind of a transitional album in some ways. It's a little more bluesy than the stuff they'd done before, even though they were kind of getting into that on Morrison Hotel. This album like definitely kind of moves further in the direction, like that direction that they were exploring there. And so it does kind of seem like a sequel to Morrison Hotel to me in some ways. I've heard a lot of people talk about Jim's voice on this album and about how it had deteriorated a lot. And to me, like, I don't hear that as much. He does sound gruffer on this album, and honestly though, I don't know how much of that is just his voice deteriorating and how much of that is him going for that type of performance. Like, if you look at the material he's performing on here, he's trying to do like blues stuff, so I think he is intentionally being a little bit gruffer. And I don't know, I've never thought that he sounds significantly worse on this album than he does on any of the other albums. I think that it's just, he's kind of adapting to the material, but you know, it's just my opinion. So the album opens with The Changeling. I've always thought that was a strong opener. It's got some cool guitar in it. I like the lyrics, I like Jim's vocal. Just a really strong opening track. Second track, Love Her Madly, I believe was one that's like mainly written by Robbie. Always really liked the keyboard in this one, just a really catchy track. Always been one of my favorites. Third track, Been Down So Long, is I think mainly a Jim song, and this one's kind of him getting more bluesy. Always really liked this one, really think Jim's performance on it's great, just a really great song. The fourth track, Cars Hiss By My Window, this one is a kind of slower blues song, and it took me a while to get into it, but now I really love it. It's just got kind of a cool laid back feel to it. Jim does this funny like vocal bit where he kind of sounds like he's trying to be like harmonica, I guess. But yeah, it took me forever to even realize it was him doing like the noise with his voice, but yeah, pretty cool song. The fifth track, LA Woman, the longest song on the album, the title track. For a long time it was my favorite Doors song. I've always really liked how it kind of like speeds up through it, and when they go back into like the beginning part of the song, like when they go through the whole Mr. Mojo Horizon part, and then like Jim starts singing again, it's so great. How it's just like a little bit faster than when they did it the first time, and it's just got like a little more to it really. And Jim's vocal on this song, kind of gruff, but I think it's a really great performance. Always really liked the lyrics, just a great song. Side 2 starts with L'America, and it's kind of a weird song. I like it. I don't really have anything against it, but it's never really been one of my favorites. Just a little bit weird. The next track, Hyacinth, I can't say the word, Hyacinth House. Really cool song. Always liked it a lot. The keyboard stuff going on, and it's really cool. I think the lyrics are kind of fun. Just a really cool song. Next is Crawling King Snake. This one I think is a cover, and it's one that I wasn't like that into for a long time, and now I really like it. I think Jim's performance on it's really good. And then next you have The Wasp, Texas Radio, and The Big Beat. This is probably my least favorite thing on the album. It's just kind of one of Jim's like poetry things, and it does have music to it, like they're playing. And I don't really like have anything against it, but it's never been one of my favorite things. Then the final track is Riders on the Storm, and I feel like that's probably the most famous song off here. And I do really love it. I think it's a strong like closing track, but it's never been like, I feel like Riders on the Storm a lot of people would put up there as the Doors' best song, and to me it's never been like that much of one of my favorites. Although I do think it is really great. I think Jim's performance is great. Really the whole band sounds great on it. The keyboard stuff's really cool. Just a great closing track, but like I said, never been like my number one favorite Doors song like I think it is for a lot of people. So yeah, LA Woman I think is a great album. Great last album for Jim, even though I do think it is a little bit of like a transitional thing. It would have been interesting to see where they would have gone from here had he lived. Although I guess you do kind of get to hear some of that with the next album, but it's just not the same without Jim. So yeah, good album. I highly recommend this one. I don't know if I would start here with these guys. I think that maybe I probably would listen to this one last of theirs just since it came out last. And I feel like these guys, it's almost best to just go through and listen to their stuff chronologically.